so please forgive me if this doesn't go through, then I will have to pre-record it and post it later in time. Welcome back, everyone. I'm happy to be back and talking about some topics that we used to talk before the recent events that kind of took over everything we talk about. So, in this video, I would like to shed some light, some more ideas on how traditional Slavic feminine women choose men, how they vet men to choose a husband. And a lot of things we had talked about before, a lot of things have been covered. This video won't be about things that we discussed a lot before, such as romance, provision, and all of that. Those topics worth to talk about, and we will talk about them sometime again. But in this video, I would like to share with you what thought process um, traditional women are operating in their mind when they are choosing men for life, because there is a huge big difference when you are just looking today to have fun and choosing someone for life, right? Hello John, hello Bill, welcome back my dear friends. I'm so glad you are here. Welcome. So there are many things that I would say are not as obvious, and maybe they are even somewhat subconscious. But my goal with my videos is to let you into the woman's mind. I can't teach you how to be man, what you have to do, what's wrong, what's right. But one thing that I can share with you is how the woman mind operates, how it works, basically inside of the woman's mind. What things are important to us, what things make us take certain decisions. A lot of men are very confused when it comes to interactions with women. They think that women are very illogical, that they hard to understand, but there are certain things that are pretty much easy to explain and easy to point out, and I hope that they would be of help. Easy for me. Easier for me, of course, because I'm a female, a woman myself, and I am glad to decode some of these things and to share them with you. So welcome back my dear friends, welcome back everyone. Let's talk today about something that could be later on of help to you. So working with men, in the in I don't know, past several years, I've noticed that a lot of men make same mistakes in their relationships that could have led to something, but they did not. And once again in this video, I'm going to share with you some things, some very fundamental things that women are look at when they choosing a partner for life. Once again, not a partner to have quick short fun with, but somebody for life, somebody who will be there, ideally their entire life. Of course, we never know how things will unfold, but that is the best of intention, the best of the idea. And let's start. So number one, that is crucially important for our Slavic women especially, but I would say traditional feminine women in general, it is number one quality of the men that these kind of ladies looking for. It's their unapologetic, um, very defined masculinity and everything that stands behind it. Decision taking, being in charge, taking the lead when needed, being able to discern when what kind of support your woman needs at the moment. Many men that I come across, they do this, they do the reverse. when there is a practical problem, they offer a woman an emotional support. And then when there is an emotional problem, they offer a woman some kind of a um, fix. For example, when your lady or woman that you like, woman that you want to take care of, when she calls you in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day and she said, oh my gosh, I have flat tire, I don't know what to do, I have flat tire, and there is nobody around. A lot of men get into this, well, I'm so sorry to hear that, blah blah blah, instead of saying, okay, what's your number, where are you, I'm on my way, or let me call your insurance company, or what can I, what is your PayPal or Cash App, like, we don't know what country, what state, so sometimes it depends on the territory. But a lot of men get emotional when a woman need a fix to fix a problem. So part of masculinity is to know which one to use at what circumstance. I cannot tell you, I cannot stress it enough how important it is to discern where you take practical solution, such as you offer a fix where the fix is needed and when it's crucial and can lead to issues with the safety of your woman, because that is the most important. You offer a solution, a practical fix immediately, and this is how not only you gain some points, but she understands, okay, this guy is about something. And when, on the other hand, if your lady calls you and she says, oh my gosh, I have this awful day with my co-worker, she betrayed me, or my best friend turned her back. Sometimes when a woman feels close to you, she wants to share what happened in her day. And certain things do not need solutions, such as certain relationships with people, or some psychological things and circumstance. She just wants to be able to share with you. So when you're trying to offer to fix it, there is really nothing to fix, rather than being present and just show the empathy and just being there. Just your presence in this case is a solution, because you have time, and you give your time and attention, and you're there to support you in that moment. Because um, we all human, and sometimes in this digital world, surprisingly, in the end of the day, sometimes we don't have someone that we could talk to, and it could be gold to be able to talk with that man and see if he can also psychologically support you. But most of the times, the main mistakes that men do is that when there is a crisis, an issue, a dangerous circumstance, they tell, like, for example, we have a horrible, unfortunate situation right now. I mean, unfortunate is not even the word, guys. Understand, it's, I think, like 10 p.m., so my brain is not working as well as I would like it to work at this point. But with a situation, with a situation in Ukraine, if you have a lady there, and um, or even she maybe is in US, and you know how devastating it is, you know what's going on, and you basically offering her, oh, I'm praying for you, for your parents, or I'm praying for your relatives. If you have not offered her practical support, she would not even consider you. And it's not because she wants to take an advantage of you, or it's not because she's looking for some quick ways and quick gains. Somehow, maybe even on subconscious level, she knows you cannot take charge, you cannot lead, and um, you cannot protect and provide in the moment when the world is falling apart. I've seen so many, actually, women would write me and would tell me, Veronica, I don't know what to do. This is a man I considered for marriage, and all he tells me that he prayed for my parents, or like he prayed for something else, when if he would think about, he would realize that I myself cannot some ladies are maybe in Germany or somewhere in Europe, and they don't have the capacity to support their loved ones that are, going into most awful and horrific circumstance, and the man offering them emotional support without offering what can be done in that kind of crisis. And that is so crucial to understand the difference between two. Sometimes you need both. Sometimes you need uh a fix of what is that problem, what is that practical issue or a problem, and then you also want to spend time and talk and support as human being to human being. But a lot of relationships have been broken during this situation, during this war, because some of the ladies seen certain men as absolutely incapable. This is not a situation, this is not, a lot of men are having all this gold digging, all these kind of issues, but they all concerned that women are after their money. But in these situations, when the bombs are literally falling on people's houses, destroying people's lives, it's not a time to wish well. Oh, I thought about you. Oh, I'm so sorry. If there is any way to actually show practical support, helps them to get out, I don't know, support them in any practical way, which is pretty much one way, if somebody is far away, is to send them support, to make sure they have food, they have provision, maybe a ticket plane. Like, you have to have something that the woman would feel like, okay, this man um is the man of his word. He told me he loves me, and he showed it with his actions. A lot of men think that because you like a woman, somehow that's she should be happy, like she should be just thrilled that you like her. Well, uh women that are, if you are interested in that woman, if you spotted her from far, believe me, you're not alone. And when you're not taking a critical decision in a critical moment, your position, your points are going all the way somewhere. She probably will even forget about you if in a moment when her life is endangered or her loved ones are endangered, you won't go any further than I prayed for you. Uh, you can count this relationship done. I'm just going to say this. You can count this relationship done. And here is the thing, when we are choosing someone for life, we have to see if we are compatible. Maybe this is not your cup of tea, this is not your kind of ladies, this is not your kind of country, not your kind of culture. I am not here to judge you or tell you what you need to do, but I want to give you an insight how Slavic traditional women look at men, and how they want to be proud of their masculinity, of their leadership, of them being able to take charge in the things that they choose to do. I remember my father. He used to say this thing that instead of being told, try to see and notice what could be done. My father was actually, he set such a high standard for me for uh, levels of masculinity that it was very difficult. It is still not easy for me to tolerate certain softness and weakness sometimes in men around me, because that standard was set so high from the time you were a child. But that phrase, that concept, that you don't even have to ask a lot of questions. You can see what is going on and spot what is that could be done that can make things better, that things and issues that needs to be solved, that nobody needs to ask. You don't need to ask, you don't need to be like, like a little boy asking for permission. You can see certain things that could be solved, and you can go and make them right. I know that in feminist culture, a lot of men are afraid to show their true masculine. They're afraid to step into their true power. But if you say that it is so for you, if that is your reality in not only with Slavic women but with any traditional culture, that is your stage to shine. And therefore, don't be shy and don't neglect your, I would say, probably your main instinct, your essence is to being a masculine provider and protector. Because especially in the times of big distress, this is what women consciously and subconsciously looking for. If you need to ask a woman what to do in this situation, just know that you already lost. That's a very important point. Number one, I had to spend a little bit more time on this because it is so crucial and important, especially during these devastating times of war. Thank you guys so much for joining. I know it's late and unexpected. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for coming. Joy saying 100% agree, Veronica. Thank you for that. Yes, it's as a man, you never want to miss your chance to shine. You just don't want to miss it. You want to, you want to have that is your opportunity. You may never have this opportunity again, because if she sees you can handle this, if she see you can't take initiative, you can't take charge, she will not be reaching out to you no more. I will just point it as it is. If you have time to talk to a woman, we say in Ukraine to put spaghetti on her ears with, how beautiful she is and how special she is and how you would give entire world and, stand on your knees and worship her, which is a bit too cringe anyway to say. But if you are kind of giving her that perspective that you would put entire world to her, well, this is the time where you don't need to put entire world, but you need to do anything and everything to help her feel protected and secure. So I did talk, of course, about this before, but I think it's important to understand that when the man is as powerful and big and important and respected as he can take decisions in a time of crisis and the way he can handle it. Which leads me to another important, very important part is the way you actually handle the situations that may take you off guard. Sometimes you can have, this unfortunate situations that tragic situations that I just mentioned, but there are also some little ones. Sometimes, you drive and you had flat tire. Do you lash out on everyone? Do you lose your crap in front of her? A lot of men, especially men who live alone for a long time, seem to say a lot of cuss words, a lot of very negative things, and the woman looks at you and she's thinking to herself, this dude cannot change a tire. One thing went wrong and he completely lose his crap. What will happen if in fact there is a war? Or what will happen if I am sick and I'm laying down and my child is um, crying? Like, would he be able to handle any kind of stress? So the way your personality, your manhood is as significant in the eyes of a woman as your level of being able to handle situations that sometimes can, take you by surprise and shake you off. The way you handle that means everything to a woman that looks at you as her main source of support. And if we talk about women who leave their country or leave the environment to be with you, they do build your life around you, and so they do look at you as a main source of support. So please remember that. Remember that maybe watch some masculine coaches. There are so many great channels on YouTube, amazing guys. I even watch them sometimes. I don't know why I do it, but sometimes I can't help. And I really like Antonio from Real Man Real Style. By the way, I've learned that he also has a Ukrainian wife. I learned it by surprise, but there's so many great man channels that teach you all those things that, as men you may not have a role model for that, or definitely you haven't learned in school. So I can only give you an idea, but it's your job to, if you know that you get easily triggered, if you know that you can easily lose your cool, you have hard times controlling your emotions, those very often, guys, those are the deal breakers. Because most Slavic feminine women want to have a man who is at least 70-80% kind of like the a rock, like he is there, he is there as a rock. And women naturally want to be the crazy one, we want to be the crazy one, we want to be the emotional one, because that's how we experience life. And we want to come to you for support. But it's really scary when the man you trusted to support and take care of you, when he losing his crap, whether it's something small or something big. And if you have trauma, if you went through some very unfair things, if you still did not get over your ex, if you still have all those things, work on them before. There is nothing embarrassing. We all sometimes um, make our new partners pay for the things that have been done to us from the previous one. Let's be honest. Unless we done some self work, some inner work, maybe work with someone when you had a traumatic or long unhappy marriage, or short unhappy marriage, or whatever we have had, we carry the trauma, and unfortunately very often we make somebody else pay for that. So make sure that is not the case for you. And if you know that you can't handle pressures, that you still hold grudges, that in some ways you want to get a woman to show you acts, a lot of men I've been working with will keep bringing their acts, and I can tell that they wanted to get somebody younger, prettier, I don't know, more, with more allure, just to show, just to put them on social media and make sure that their ex will see that. This is not a good start for a relationship for life. So if you know that you have not been as great of a support, or just take some time for you. I completely understand that men are human too, and you can't always be that rock. You can't always be, on service. Sometimes you need a break and you need to deal with your own stuff. That's why you are not shy. You shouldn't be shy to work with people who can help you. And that leads me to another very important point is, I think it's more subconsciously women, Slavic women, feminine women, are looking for a man who is a self-motivated one. The man that you do not need to drag. It's inevitable that no matter how you prepare, there's gonna be a day when you will fall down. This is just life, this is just life, and that is part of it. No matter how strong you are, no matter how much you use some of that advice, or no matter how much you of inner work you will do, there will be days sometimes that you will fall, you will get fired, or maybe your business will fall apart or something else like that. It is so crucial for a Ukrainian woman, for Slavic women in general, or any traditional woman with a traditional mindset, to know that when her man is falling down, he is self motivated to get back on. Not her becoming a mother, not her becoming a coach or psychologist. That's a huge mistake that people do when they becoming a coach for each other, in intimate relationships. That one of the worst thing that can happen. So when a woman know and she has faith and confidence and trust, she knows that this man, she knows he's strong, and she understands that maybe today he broke down, today he got tired, today he had a conflict at his work, but she has faith in him, and she knows that he will get up, you know uh, put himself together, take the dirt off, and goes back to work. That is so important. A lot of Ukrainian women have been traumatized, and I would say probably women from post USSR have been traumatized, maybe with their mothers, or maybe they lived that themselves. When in 90s we had a major crisis, it wasn't war, but in early 90s Soviet Union had fallen apart, and we have the phenomena of women figuring things out, and some men um, being frozen up, because we had one way of doing things. We had Soviet Union, where people would go to like a government sort of state work, and then one day overnight all of that was gone and think of the past. So the old system was blown, was ended suddenly overnight, and the new system wasn't built, and a lot of men were so not used to this, so a lot of men have gotten frozen, but the women would find a way. They start to selling stuff, doing all kinds of things to survive, because um, that instinct of absolutely have to be able to feed in your child. And so a lot of women who were children back then, they got traumatized also seeing their dad, laying on a couch, or dad being helpless. And it's a major trauma for a girl seeing a when masculine cannot take care and protect, and not having that role model. So some of these girls had become, even in the more traditional countries, like Ukraine and all other ones, they had become a lot more masculine. They start to think about education and work and family at last. So don't trigger those memories. As women, we get very shocked when the man loses his purpose. Something happens, in his chemistry, the way he acts. um, Women, as women, we don't necessarily always need to have a purpose. Our purpose is, um, if we can experience joy, if we can experience motherhood, we don't always need some a career driven purpose. We can have a completely fulfilled life and never thought once about that again, if we have a man that can provide that peace of mind for us. Not all women are like that. Some women are very ambitious and very driven, and they be bored with that. But once again, when man loses purpose, something breaks, and it's very difficult to make that relationship going again. Don't make your woman to be, your coach and your mom. Don't make your start to experience motherly, like empathetic motherly feelings toward you, because motherly energy from a woman, it's the end. It's the end of everything. It's the end of love. It's the end of passion. It's the end of sex. It's the end of everything. Especially if it's something consistent going on. So ask yourself a question: are you a self motivational kind of guy? Do you get up after you get knocked down? Um, could you really take that responsibility and take care of the woman that you would like to bring into your life? And if you are not, that is okay too. Maybe you need a um, woman that will kick your butt. You know, maybe you need a different kind of woman. But if you hunting for a traditional one, she would not be the match. In that dynamic, she would not be a match, and it would be a relation of self-destruction and I mean conflicts and a lot of pain. Yes, so a self-motivated man is the man who puts his goals, the man who's have his vision, man who can adjust after he fall, man who doesn't count on a woman to put him on her shoulders and try to keep going. So that is very important, and I would say that self-motivated men very often stand out with their consistency and strengths. Somebody who is consistent, I feel like they train that muscle so much that you know if they would lose everything one day, they will build it all the way back. They do not need their wife to beg them to get up, you know, from that couch, from that chair. And that lead me to the last one for today. It's your habits and your lifestyle. You know, we all can, you know, especially you guys as men, you all can walk on your toes and, you know, pretend that, you know, you have this healthy lifestyle and, you know, you're always polite and orderly. And, but, you know, we all tend sometimes to put in a show when we like someone. But when we talk about something long term, um, it's kind of a dangerous one because you can completely mislead um, you can completely mislead someone, and in the long term, in the long run, um, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be the result that you want, because the person, the woman in particular, she would be disappointed uh, to such extent where there could be a point of no return. So, for example, if when you come to see her, you would always put together, you know, you were active one. You said, "Oh yeah, you know, let's go sightseeing, let's go do this, let's travel, let's do all of this stuff." But then when she comes to the house, you know, all you do is you're plopping on the couch with a large bag of chips, and you know, you are just eating like a pig and watching some weird TV shows. Believe it or not, it's a reality for some. So, do you think like your lifestyle is actually matching to what you showed her so far? Do you believe that your lifestyle is actually matching to what you showed her of you so far? Do you want to uplift your lifestyle? And do you want to work on your habits? For us, here is the thing. Slavic women in general apply pretty high standards to themselves. They don't allow uh, they don't allow themselves to let go. Yes, sometimes we, you know, fall down a bit. Sometimes we don't have time to do our nails and hair. Sometimes we have small kids. Sometimes we gain a few pounds, but we are very conscious of it, and usually we stop. We stop and getting, you know, especially if we get support from our loved ones, we stop and we trying to get ourselves back on track, because in terms of self-respect and discipline, we are self-motivated. We don't need a man to tell us, oh, you know, you look horrible, go put a clean short, or a clean blouse. We are very conscious of it. We take pride in our appearance. We love being beautiful and feminine. So that's kind of like our self, how to say this, engine. It's our, we are self motivated to be beautiful and inspiring ones. But sometimes we do also fall down, and this is time when, if you want your woman to be beautiful again, you need to offer her support. You need to put the child in a daycare for a couple hours. You need to support her, and she'll be most than happy to uh, go to the one you met. It's not easy. When you have responsibilities and no one is helping you, it's not easy. But it goes in reverse when a woman sees a guy who she thought so much of, and he's literally sitting there with his stomach up. Wait, sorry. And he's literally sitting there, with his stomach out in a dirty shirt with oil stains, with some holes, and making some inappropriate noises, and he just doesn't care. The hygiene goes, God knows. I can't believe I need to talk about this, but this is the reality. Um, Sometimes when you're off work, you feel like, you get your guards down, like you don't need to shave. Shower is not a priority anymore. It's like, oh, you already got her. She's already here. So, like, here I am, natural. Here's, darling, here's my natural self. Don't be surprised if she will be standing like this. She the every single woman that I ever met not gonna kiss you unless you took a shower, you brush your teeth, you do your grooming, you shave. It's just so important for us. And women too, if you are maybe living alone, or you are depressed, or you are in the midst of something, when you don't feel good, sometimes all of us can drop our hygiene, the way we look, especially maybe you work at home, you have small kids or whatever. But if you know that about yourself, start to work on this before she ever came. Trust me, you can never go wrong with trying to be more organized, more put together, kind of like high up your standards. Unless you are after a woman that in accordance to that law, which is usually never, I've never met a man who was fascinated by the woman that was below his standards. Never yet. Never met. I mostly meet men who are fascinated by women who are way above their league, or way beyond what they dreamed. Never met a man who would be head over heels over the woman that doesn't brush her teeth. Just never happened yet. So even though it sounds very trivial and kind of embarrassing to talk about, I want to tell you that for us Slavic women, it's important to the point of life and death. I'm serious. It's important to the question of life and death, because we don't want for the romance to die, and some of those things could contribute to that. I'm done. We're going to stop on this one. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said all of this. Hey everyone, it's so nice to be again here today. Thank you so much for stopping by, my dear friend. Hey Jake, good to see you. See you laughing. Hey Bill 777. Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate it. Thank you, John, for the kind words. And all of you guys, thank you for contributing. Wait, thank you for contributing. Thank you, Jim. Good to see you. Jim, I have a question to you. Why wouldn't she come here? I don't know yet how your meeting went and what you guys decided, but why couldn't she come here and spend this time with you? Maybe it's something we should talk off the chat, but I'm just curious. So anyway, I know some of you guys joined later, and I know it was a long video, but let's just wrap it up. So the first one was masculinity, and a huge part of masculinity is seeing the problem and solving it. If the problem is practical and there is anything that you can do, don't ask questions, just offer help. If somebody is on the question of life and death, if somebody is under the bombs, and you telling to a woman that you pray for her, this is in our mentality. I just want to tell you, in the best case scenario, you don't get you don't get no credit in her book at all. She just won't look at you as a man anymore. Period. That's just how it is. Especially if you are in a, I don't know, if you just meet somebody, it could be a little different, but you still should try to consider doing something significant to help. But if this is the woman you dream to marry and all you offer is that you will pray for her, uh, you might as well forget about it, okay? Your respect, the way you treat your family, the way you treat people outside, people that may be lower social in social ways than you, the way the way you treat people around you. Don't think that she doesn't notice that. She always does. The way you are consistent in your actions, the way you put yourself together after you fall, the way you move, the way you handle situations and critics and critical things, what things take you out of control, what things make you, how do you handle those things that can shake your peace. all of this is all of these are the points that a lot of women consider, and often subconsciously. She doesn't necessarily sit there and think about all of this, but she definitely pays attention to the way you move in life. She doesn't want to be embarrassed of who she had chosen. She wants to be proud. In fact, she, as I told you guys before, she wants to brag about you to most of your friends. All right, I got it, Bill. Oh, I mean Jim. Okay. Yes, I see. Yes, well, I was just asking you some other aspects, but it's probably a separate conversation. We could have some time because it's just way too personal. Thank you, guys. Any questions, comments? Because we're going to, I'm going to try not to go over 1 hour unless something amazing happens, or you guys have a lot to contribute. By the way, I've opened another page on Instagram that doesn't really have any content yet. Where I think I would love to make some of these videos like this. Thank you so much. I see that. Thank you. In just a second, I'll comment on that. Thank you. So I made another page on Instagram besides my first and glamour because it's just too different. of the topics. It's called Slavic Secrets. There is really literally nothing there yet, but if you can find me on Instagram, Slavic underscore secrets, we will be talking about different dynamics and things like that. And you can come on a video on live and we can talk and have a conversation. It will be so much more fun than just only me trying to entertain you guys. So it's a baby page. I think I have one follower. So I don't know how he even found me, but eventually I hope that it will grow and there we can share thoughts and you can come on the call and just share things if you would like. So and my other page that have been there for a while when I post my furs and feminine things, I called it femininity and furs just for now, so that I will talk about some femininity aspects and of course my furs and all the pretty things. So if you want to see that, that is mm, called femininity and furs, and it has my name Veronica Olsen on that. Wait, wait. Why can't I open my chat? So thank you so much. Thanks, Bill, for the super chat. It's so kind of you. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm always reminded, do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is in my power to act. Yes. You know, the thing is, when you are a giving, a generous person, it's almost impossible to be miserable and lonely. A lot of people who are miserable and lonely, they don't give. They make everything about them and their feeling of, I don't know, depression. And we all catch ourselves sometimes that, if you want to have a friend, you need to be a friend. If you want people to be generous with you, you may not have money that day or, funds, but you can do something else for someone. You can spend your time, you can encourage someone. Um, whatever kind of treat you can give to someone, I think it's a wonderful message. Yes, maybe we are not always able to be kind and generous, but I think that, I don't know, I just think that in our life everything is intertwined. I've never seen a generous person who was bitter or miserable. So that's a very good thing to live by. Thank you. And that's another thing that Slavic women appreciate and very much. You guys already know that it's of course generosity of men's mind, soul, and heart. I don't know. I think that generosity is it's a quite amazing. It's a quite an amazing trait that some people just naturally have, and some people need to train themselves, and their life will become better. And that generosity applies to just about anything. Your time, your attention, giving treats to someone, paying for someone's labor, and so on and so forth. I don't know. I have never met a generous person that was a miserable one. Now, when I think about that. So, anyways, thank you so much also for the super chat. Again, I appreciate that. Especially as I'm trying, guys, I'm trying to find that energy and inspiration to start doing live videos again, and just kind of get into the mode of things. But I do work behind the scenes still. I still have my clients. So if I did not get back to you, if you request my service and I did not get back to you, please forgive me and request again, because this last 7 or 8 months have been like nothing ever before. So please don't take it personally or seriously. So, my dear friends, Bill is saying I didn't have to train myself. You know, there is nothing wrong. It's actually admirable quality when you know you're lacking something. And that's why I'm sharing all this stuff with you guys. We all lacking something. As long as you are aware, if only you are aware of what is that's missing or lacking, you can consider yourself a lucky one, because now once you know, you can do something about it. I feel like we are blindly driven by the things we don't realize. Once you realize where certain issues are, you can get empowered and you can train yourself. I definitely believe that it's um, something that's in our power to do, and that's why I'm sharing all of this. You know, I meet amazing guys who could do better in life, but they want to have an amazing woman in their life, but they want to stay the same. And when they show me the picture of their ex-wife, I can actually see the match and resemblance. You know, when you have this wife um on this level and you want somebody on that level, uh do you really think that you can get a woman from that level by you staying the same when you were with that? I mean, with that person? You actually, in a way, were a perfect match. So, yeah. Training required. I want to ask some of my moderators. I want to ask John. Wait, not John. Uh, Bill, could you please send some of those links? And I want to thank you. I don't know who's watching me, but I want to thank some of you guys for still being there in these hard times and helping our new campaign for winter, warm winter for Ukraine. I won't talk about it much, but when it's as it progresses, I'm gonna reach out to everyone in person and thank you for contributing, um, and for giving hope to those who need this support this winter. This is a link I created on PayPal, and the money we will gather will go to support, you know, people during the winter with all this cold, with, you know, with some wood, some coal, warm clothes, and food. So, and it goes, you guys know that unfortunately with all the aid that goes to Ukraine, things do not always go to just people, you know, like there are centers and places you can go get some things, but it's not addressed help. So that's what I do through the channel, and I want to thank you so much for helping, for helping people still through what could be the worst. Thank you, guys. Also, could you please post my email, consultveronica@gmail.com. You can find me there. You can also join my Patreon. I'm gonna, so some of my long videos, some of my like some of the lives are gonna be posted on Patreon and some on my membership. And I want to say thank you to my members, those who hit the join button and decide to be a member. I want to wait. I want to thank Bill and Jim. I think on the stream still. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, you know, for donating that cup of coffee to my channel, and I really do appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I know I have not been the best with my YouTube channel. I used to be so consistent, and I feel very bad about not being able to keep up, but hopefully I will learn a few things and improve my performance here on the channel. And I want to learn some of the technical things as well. So maybe we can watch some things together and react to things and discuss things, make it a little bit more visual. But that's something that I have not done yet. So I appreciate your patience, my dear friends. I hope you're not scared by the ghost. That's how far I go on Halloween. I know it's could be a one of your concerns, but I promise you he's harmless and sweet. Yeah, I don't. This another little tip. Like I would say, 90% of Slavic feminine traditional beautiful women do not like anything scary and ugly, even on Halloween. Some there are maybe like 5-10% that would do like the vampire or blood or something, but most of us, gonna wear something pretty and be a princess or queen. That's how scary we go. That's how far we go. But anyway, I hope you're not scared by that ghost. Yes, that's exactly that one, John. That's exactly that one. Isn't that cute or what? Thank you. Thank you guys for the kind words. Thank you guys so much for the kind words. So, once again, I'm not, trying to tell how you need to be or, how to be a man or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell you, like, as women, what we pay attention to. And especially the kind of women most men are dreaming about on my channel. We we don't care as much like how cute you are. We don't care as much about um, your your physical appearance as much as we care about um, what kind of character you have and could we rely on you in difficult moment. That is the main thing that it gets boiled down to. Can we rely on you in a difficult moment without having to beg you or explain or anything like that? Like when you meet somebody, it's always like the romance. Like it's always like in a way the best time. Sometimes you just wish that the infatuation wouldn't end because infatuation is just the most beautiful, delicious, exciting, inspiring thing. But most of people, at least those who follow my channel, want to have something more. Maybe want to have, partnership or relationship or something more solid, and eventually those things change and they kind of evolve into deeper sense of love. And just one of the most important woman's needs is to know that it will evolve in that strong, reliable, consistent, peaceful kind of love. When the man can handle his emotion, when he can get emotional sometimes, but he's not more emotional than her. And she's not more ambitious than him. At least that is what works for traditional dynamics. Sometimes in the reverse dynamics, there could be a strong woman and a feminine man, and it can work as well. But in my in my channel, we're talking about more classic traditional things. And the least but not the last, something I want to tell you guys: when the woman is choosing you, if she is a classy woman, she's not gonna tell you, "Oh, I have another 7 men," or "I have another, I don't know, 500 followers," or like I have another dates or I have another offers. If she's classy, she is observing and considering. She knows in her bones that she is a worthy woman. She knows in her bones that she is a worthy, desirable woman. She doesn't need to prove you something or show you messages from other men with adoration or maybe gifts or, some compliments that they send her, in a ways of some kind of beautiful treats and things. She will not be showing this to make you jealous or, to make you mad, but she knows she has options. She understands it and she knows her worth in her bones. So especially it's just a different topic, but especially when you have a second chance with her, don't think that you will come back and throw her a bone and she's just gonna be like, like a little puppy. Oh yes, if she was able to, if she is if she attracted your attention, if she knows, you know, what kind a woman she is, I can guarantee you she's not gonna be excited if maybe you broke up or split up for a minute and then you coming back and you give her the bare minimum, you treat her like she's less. That will only prove it to her that you were not worth it to begin with. And she will choose somebody else, or maybe she won't choose nobody for a while. She take your time and then she will choose somebody else. A lot of ladies that I know that are in demand at any age, whether they're 25, 35, 45, 55. There is this kind of woman that is classy, smart, educated, attractive. I mean, you can keep going, and they are always in demand. They never have a lack of men. But if that kind of woman feel that you could be the one and she gave you a chance after chance, or maybe you know you keep missing those opportunities when you can rise and shine and show up, and you think that, oh, she won't go, I'm the only one, like I'm the one. That is something that one day you will regret, because you are not the only one and she has other ways to enjoy her life. Even if she doesn't, she may even, you never know what is in someone's heart and mind. But if she have a standard and you can't climb to that, whether or not she's at the moment considered another one, just know that you are out. Other words, you can't get what you want without effort, without the actions following your words. That's all. I'm done. Again, I want to make a video. I had some video requests to make a video, talking about second chances, and I'll think on that one, because that a touchy one is probably a needed one, but we'll see. We'll see about that. All right, my dear friends, thank you so much. I don't want to hold you way too long and way too late tonight. Thank you so much for joining. So good to see you all, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for sharing the links. Yes, guys, I totally understand that everyone has a different situation. Some people are, not able to help support or contribute. I totally understand. So it's, as always, a love offer. There is no demands or requests, but I appreciate it. And I just want to say, I saw actually the names of everyone who was able to do, before it somehow turns to anonymous, but I saw you all, and I'm gonna reach out to everyone in person and thank you. Make sure that I thank you personally. So thank you, my dear friends. Have a wonderful night. I will see you soon, I hope. and let's do our best on the highest levels that we can. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.